Sri Lanka is a beautiful country that has become increasingly popular with tourists over recent years, but the country is in its worst economic crisis since its independence.
People can't afford their daily rice, their dal, their basic necessities. People can't get on buses to come to work, to go to school.
How much worse can it get? There's no petrol, there's no diesel, kids can't sit their exams because there's no paper.
So what's happening? Let's take a look at the current situation. Inflation in the country has risen a staggering 33.4 points, from 5.7% in September to 39.1% in May. Even in the last 3 months, the rise has been steep. I mean, look at the gradient on that graph. Sri Lanka has experienced shortages and price hikes in basics such as dal, rice and milk powder, a mass shortage of fuel used for transport and cooking, as well as suffering from urgent medical shortages, hence the setup of foreign donation pages like this one, aiming to raise funds to send medical aid to Sri Lanka. January to March is their peak travel period, and in 2019 they saw 740,924 visitors to the island, which dropped massively in 2022. Due to the political unrest and economic situation, many governments, including the UK, had advised against all but essential travel, cancelling our own trip. So what's got Sri Lanka in this situation and why have people been protesting? The main thing to understand is that a series of bad financial and political decisions on top of the pandemic have led to this crisis. After the Easter attacks and the global pandemic, the country has struggled to recover its tourism numbers. This means a lack of tourism and foreign currency, leading to issues for the Sri Lankan government in repaying their foreign debts.
You need foreign reserves to buy food, you need it to buy medicines. Without dollars in your bank account, you can't buy anything.
Some of the financial decisions that have been questioned are borrowing beyond its means and making poor investments in infrastructure projects that have swallowed up a lot of money. When Gotta came into power in 2019, he said that he wanted to make Sri Lanka completely organic. While it's a nice thing to aim for, these policies tend to take years to happen. However, they suddenly banned fertiliser almost overnight, which put many farmers out of business and saw a huge drop in production. Despite reversing this decision, many farmers have still not recovered and are struggling to get by.
Sri Lankan farmers who are now also without subsidized fertilizers, and so losses were estimated to be around 40% for rice crops.
Other questionable decisions that have got Sri Lanka into a deeper hole in repaying foreign debts was its decision to impose tax cuts, which of course meant the government had less income. On the whole, the economic crisis has been blamed on 3 things: questionable decisions, mismanagement of funds, and the COVID pandemic, killing tourism for 2 years. All of these issues are prolonging the suffering of the Sri Lankan people. Tourism was a major source of income for the country, which it really needed after a 2-year break due to COVID. Many say these protests could be a turning point, as Tamils, Sinhalese, Muslims, Christians and other religious and ethnic groups come together to fight for a better Sri Lanka. As I'm making this video, the UK government has just changed its travel advice, so you can now go. Visiting Sri Lanka at this time will help local people who rely on your tourism for their income. So if you do go, do your own research and try and see as many different parts of the island as possible, and support small vendors, hotels and restaurants. I'm going to leave some links in the description below for pages you can donate to or accounts that you can learn more about Sri Lanka. Thank you for watching this video.